Hey, what up, though, YouTube? I'm just hitting you back with another video because I wanted to provide some information and resources on pretty much the elements to prove a homicide in the state of Michigan. This is related to the Jarvis Butts case. Everyone's pretty much been talking about the lack of evidence that Kim Worthy has, or what evidence she does have. I actually found some information about that as well to pull up that I can share with you. And I'm also going to read circumstantial evidence, or the elements to prove a crime or homicide in the state of Michigan. But to clear things up, you do not need a body to charge a person with homicide. All you need is circumstantial evidence. I'm going to explain all of that later. So give me 1 second to get this information pulled up for you. I'm a little tired and drowsy, but that's because I'm a little bit under the weather, so I won't be on here long with you guys. Now, this was actually published, this document from Kim Worthy's office. This was actually published September 27th, 2024, I believe. And it's a good document too as well, after reading it. When you read it, it kind of put a lot of things in perspective and in order. So I can see how and why she came to the conclusion that she kind of made. She has more evidence, of course, but the prosecution's office is never going to play their full hand at the preliminary. It's like a game of spades, pretty much, a card game of spades. Who got the best hand? Who's going to show their best hand? Who's going to play the best hand? Who got the ace? Who got the joker? It's pretty much is how it is with the prosecution and the defense. They gave us some, but they didn't give us everything that's going to be heard at the trial, of course. Everyone knows that. But let me go ahead and get this so I can read this to you. It says, today, Jarvis Ramon Butts, a.k.a. who the hell is Jarvis? Jarvis Ramon Butts, 41, of Detroit, has been charged with the homicide of Naziah Harris, who was 13 years old, also of Detroit, at the time of her disappearance on January 9, 2024. Sorry about that. Where was I? Okay, so yeah, the body of Naziah has not been found. The Detroit Police Department conducted a comprehensive investigation. I don't believe that, but anyways, which included witness statements, surveillance video, numerous documents, phone extractions, police reports, and medical records. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office reviewed 111 gigabytes of video, 506 gigabytes of phone extractions, and 19 gigabytes of documents. Damn. The overwhelming evidence in this case leads to the tragic conclusion that Naziah was murdered by defendant Butts. So in this document, she's pretty much stating why she believes that she's pretty much coming to the conclusion why she believes what she believes is based on the information she got. She don't have to share that with the public at all. That's not her job. But if she has good faith to believe why she believes what she believes, this will be her supporting evidence of that, which would be her discovery. All of this information does not have to be relayed to the public. Pretty much, she does. That's not. It wouldn't make sense for her to even release that information, that type of information, to the public. So a lot of people is just saying, why was she charged Jarvis without a body? You don't need a body in 2025 to charge somebody with the crime. Not at all. It's too many resources, and the technology has advanced over the years. And pretty much all you need to do is prove beyond a reasonable doubt is what you need to prove. Pretty much the burden of proof is on the prosecution. So they just need to put everything together, the pieces of the puzzle. You don't need a body. All right, so I'm going to continue reading. On January 9th, 2024, Naziah went missing. She reported missing on that date by Annette Harris, her adoptive mother, who was her biological grandmother, when she did not come home from school. She had never gone missing from school before. The DPS Police Department investigated the case until early February 2024. I wouldn't say investigated because they really didn't do shit, but their words, not mine, when it was turned over to the Detroit Police Department's Missing Persons Homicide Unit. I believe that would be Shannon Jones, Detective Shannon Jones, who was the officer in charge. So right here, I'm going to highlight this. These are the events on January 29th. Not 29th, January 9th, 2024, is what I want to say. And this is pretty much an outline of why she believes, of the evidence that she has. And it has more than this. And I'm just going to read each bullet point. Sorry, I had to give me something to drink. All right, so Neziah, the first bullet point, Neziah took the school bus to school. She had in her hair 2 braided puff balls, clear frame glasses, a white sweater with a black jacket over it, a colorful Rugrats puffy jacket with a fur-lined hood, with light blue jeans and Nike shoes. Okay. There is a video of Neziah getting on the school bus. Neziah used a DPS-issued tablet that she used to communicate and communicated with an app. So I believe she was using a school tablet to text, and you can text from a tablet. For those who don't think that, you can, because it's a thing called text now, and much more apps with that. But anyway, she took one last picture of herself on the tablet. We saw that. Using her tablet, she sent a message to a device associated with Butts, indicating that they would be meeting up after she got out of school that day. Okay, so there is video of her getting out of school at the end of the day in the same clothes. She meets up with Butts and a coworker and goes back to their auto repair shop on Connor in Detroit. And she's referring to King. Neziah is seen by Butts' sister at the shop. Butts, the coworker, and Neziah were together in the coworker's car when they went to Ypsilanti and then returned to the shop on Connor. Butts' phone places him at these locations. Okay. At 9:30 p.m. to 12:20 p.m., Butts checked into a motel. There is a receipt confirming this, as well as his phone placing him at that location. So we already confirmed that he was. Now, in this sentence right here, because this is very important, it says Butts checked into a motel, not Neziah. So yeah, hold on one second. Sorry, my computer, glitching. Yeah, it says Butts checked into a motel, not Neziah. There's not a video or a press conference or anything that relates to that that's saying that Neziah was checked in at the motel. It was just Jarvis. And then it says Neziah is never seen again after January 9th, 2024. More complete facts and evidence in the case will be introduced on the record in court. This was published before the preliminary, by the way. Keep reading. Okay, so Butts' inappropriate relationship with Neziah prior to January 9th, 2024. The DPD investigation revealed that Jarvis Butts was well known to Neziah because he is the father of children with Neziah's biological aunt. Okay. It is alleged that Butts sent Neziah multiple texts of a sexually explicit nature beginning in September 2022. In return, she sent him sexually explicit photographs of herself. It is alleged that in September 2023, she texts Butts that she has not had her period. And in November 2023, the evidence shows that Butts knows that she is pregnant. That's a confirmation, because that was the text that she texted him about doing the gym shit with the baby and stuff. So that was confirmed. His phone records show that he searches online about abortions, abortion pills, and evidence that shows that Butts knows that she is pregnant, which is true. His phone records show that he searches online. I read it already. Sorry. On January 10th, 2024, it is alleged that Butts was in the Rouge River area in Detroit. It's River Rouge, but okay. The clothing Neziah was last seen wearing was found in the same area. More complete facts and evidence in this case will be introduced on the record in court. So now here are the factors that Kim Worthy believes is the reason why Neziah is no longer here. After reading them, though, I do agree. If you kind of ball all of this up together, with circumstantial evidence nowadays and not needing a physical body, that's all you need to do is prove homicide. That's the purpose of going to court, making an argument, is to see who has the better case, pretty much. You don't need a body. All right. So factors. Okay. So Neziah's school record shows no previous record of unexcused or unexplained absences. She was active on social media before January 9, 2024. There is no new activity after January 9, 2024. She has had no contact with any family or friends since January 2024. She did not have any medical issues that would cause a life-threatening medical emergency that they know of. We don't know that. An area known to Butts near the River Rouge area around 7 Mile and Berg in Detroit was searched by DPD, Michigan State Police, the FBI, the U.S. Marshals, and other law enforcement agencies. As a result, clothing was found and identified that is consistent with the clothing Neziah was wearing on that day she went missing. There was damage to a piece of the found clothing that could indicate a struggle. More complete facts and evidence in the case will be introduced on the record in court. And that pretty much concludes that document. Now, hold on, because I want to pull up to prove the elements of a first-degree murder in Michigan. So I'm going to get that information pulled up. I'll be right back. All right, folks, thank you so much for your patience. I'm back. And I'm just going to read this with you guys as well. And I think this will be it. It says, let me see if I'm sharing it first. Okay. It says, what are the elements of a first-degree murder charge in Michigan? First-degree murder is the most severe charge and attracts the harshest penalties. It refers to the intentional killing of a human being and is also called premeditated murder. Those who commit first-degree murders must have deliberately planned and possessed an evil intent to take human life. In this charge, or in this case, that would be the correct charge. I believe, and this is just my personal opinion, that most of the premeditation part or text messages are going to come from the 8th of January. If you remember back on January, from the text messages, she just started off on January 9th. Don't forget to be there. Something led up to, it was a conversation that had to be had that led up to that. And it had to be had either by the 8th or 7th. I'm going to go with the 8th because that was the day before. But I'm going to continue reading. The prosecution must prove premeditation and intent to kill to succeed in first-degree murder cases. Premeditation need not occur over a long period or involve careful planning or a killing strategy, as it can occur within a few minutes. It requires a conscious decision and action to take a human life. It involves malice of forethought on the defendant's part. There are 3 ways in which people could be guilty of first-degree murders. It occurs in cases involving death caused by poisoning, lying in wait for the victim, or any other action conveying a deliberate, willful, or premeditated killing. This type of first-degree murder is the most common. Let me see, what else would I want to cover? That's pretty much it. That just pretty much explains the elements of first degree. I'm going to finish reading this as well. It may also occur when the defendant kills another person while committing or attempting a crime such as extortion, larceny, robbery, first-degree child abuse, vulnerable adult abuse to the first or second degree, criminal sexual conduct first degree, criminal sexual conduct second degree, and criminal sexual conduct third degree. Aggravated stalking, kidnapping, arson, pretty much any crime. Damn, that's too much to be reading. So yeah, this part ties in with the elements. If they were committing another crime, like in Jarvis Butt's case, sexual abuse, then premeditated murder had to come along with it, only because it was something that he kind of planned. Only being with a minor, getting her pregnant, that does show premeditation, and it's up to the prosecution's office to prove that. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to pretty much get that out there, because a lot of people are asking why she charging what she charging with nobody. What evidence does she have? She doesn't have to give y'all that. She doesn't have to give y'all any of that. She gave you most of what she is going to give you or give us, but they don't have to release a lot of information. It's not for them to do that. But yeah, folks. So yes, that is the reason why she believed Isaiah is not here anymore, unfortunately. And these are the elements to prove a first-degree murder that I just pretty much explained. I thought I had something else. Hold on. Okay, that's nothing. All right, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you folks. Tune in to the next video. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, repost, reshare. Thanks you guys for tuning in. Shout out to the replay game and the chat game. Y'all have a good one.